Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. This is Christmas Day, July 25th, 2019. I've experienced at least about 70 of these times. And I want to say to you that I've watched them, I understood the passing along of gifts to your loved ones or to anybody. It's always a pleasant thing to receive a gift. And on Christmas, we try to give it some authenticity by saying the gift comes from someone else, like Santa Claus maybe, who has been watching you and have determined that you should receive gifts. And today, I must say, as I watched gifts being handed out, my wife is a loving person and she believes in giving gifts. In fact, she saves from today until next Christmas to make sure that when this time is here, she'll have some gifts to give. And you know, what I'm really saying is that when she gives you a gift, I think she receives more joy and excitement from it than the one that she gives the gift to. She amazes me sometimes. And I do that because I look at the whole thing a little bit different. Sure, I have given gifts, and I don't condemn giving gifts. It's just that I chose a different path of life in my later years, say like 28, 29, that I was going to do something different. I wanted to make a difference, and that was going to be my contribution to society. It was going to be an expression of what I have learned, what I know, to the rest of us, and my hope had been that it would be major as far as causing people who are going through some pains and some sufferings to make perhaps some of the same changes in their lives and would maybe be rewarded by that change. And as I sat there watching those gifts being passed out, I recognized that a lot of the joy that I had been receiving in times past just wasn't there. My beautiful daughter's there receiving these wonderful gifts that have been put together for them. And they rejoicing to them, knowing exactly who and what they are. And I thought about all of the people across the nation who are receiving gifts. And I thought about the people down at the shelters. I thought about the people who are homeless. I thought about the people living in cars. I thought about the people who were in a soup line trying to make sure they got some food. Or I thought about the people who were snatching somebody's keys, getting their cars, or ripping their purse off their shoulders. I thought about people who were robbing other folks by the point of a gun, trying to see if they could get something. I thought about the people who are dealing in the black market, maybe perhaps selling drugs. I thought about the people who are selling their bodies, just trying to survive. I thought about it, and it took away some of that excitement that I had felt in the past. I felt kind of bad about it. That joy just wasn't there, and I began to go within myself and ask the Spirit, what is it? Out of this situation, what is it? What can I learn? What is the real message? Make it understandable and plain and clear to me, knowing that if that happened, when that happened, I was going to definitely come and share it with you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here I am, responding as I have been responded to. And I thought for a moment, what if? What if? And that began to bring wonderment to me. I thought about, what if we got it all wrong? We talk about evil in the world, evil in America. It must be above America's ability to correct it. If Barack had done some of the things that are done at the highest levels of government presently, he would have died quickly by maximized evil. No way he could exist. I think about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Many of you probably have heard of him. He was a lover, they say. He was a man of goodness and righteousness. They named streets after him. They named buildings and schools after him. They make statues of him. And they even made a holiday, for goodness sake. Yes, for goodness sake. They killed him for righteousness' sake. Brother Malcolm was killed for righteousness' sake, as was Abraham Lincoln. Righteousness. Medgar Evers. Righteousness. Mahatma Gandhi. Righteousness. And so many others that I cannot name. So many others that I don't know. But you know, very few people lose their lives for trying to be good. I mean, goodness is a wonderful thing. There's nothing wrong with being good. Just don't be righteous. You know, Christian people, sometimes I use Christian people because they are supposed, at least they tell the world, that they are uniquely qualified to speak for the community. They are uniquely qualified to engage themselves in the situations of life. And when you see them in the pews on Sunday mornings listening to a biblical story, they don't talk about the pains and sufferings that we the people endure every day. They don't talk about the solutions. And for those who do, they usually restrict the solution to bring them on to church, as if they in the church got something going on. And the way they give it sometimes, I'm just telling to you like I've seen it, is they want to bring you in and then they want to act like pets. You know, people got puppies and cats. They love them. They treat them kind. And the pets expect a whole bunch of things as they have been exposed. And they're expecting it to come from someone else. They can't get it. Somebody got to give it to them. And so sometimes when you look at the church, it's like they are waiting for something to come and deliver them. I mean, the world is being built daily as they watch it and participate in it down an evil track. And they sit there with all this power, and I ask myself, what is it? What is it that allows this to happen on this Christmas Day? And I'm reminded that they do like this because they do not know any better. They have been trained to be just like this. Those who are out of the church, you've been trained, you've been indoctrinated to be and act just like we do. Those of you who are connected with religious organizations and secret societies, you are designed to be exactly as you are, to respond to situations of life just like you are. Don't think you magic and you came over something great. You didn't. You've been designed. And for those of you who think that Donald Trump has got something going on, he is, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not by his design. It's not by his design at all. This is not new. Since the beginning of time, people have known how to comfort people, how to brainwash people, how to set them up to do exactly what they said they would never do. This is not new. You've heard it said, and the truth is in this statement, that no man can serve two masters. I know you can't do it. It's like having a double spouse. And everything you do to please one drives the other one stone crazy. And you're in the middle of that. What good can you do? So what I'm basically saying, ladies and gentlemen, no man, I agree with the statement, can serve two masters. You got to make a choice. And many of you think you've made a choice by saying you believe according to how you've been taught about moving on. And it got you right here in the middle of it. You see, when this thing happened like this, you came into a world already out of disorder. If the beginning story is right for those of you who believe the story, there was harmony in the beginning. There was paradise wherever these were. There was heaven wherever it was. But someone came along and took away the master, took away you being the captain of your own body, the captain of your own spirit, and you followed another. And ever since that day, we've been captured slaves. We've heard all kinds of stories and used them for all kinds of means and for all kinds of ways, but the results have always been the same. We've been learning and learning and learning. You see, the dictators, they don't really know what's going on. They have been brought up too. But they are the overall power that's all controlling the world. And they have searched for men like this. And here we found one, they found one right here in Donald Trump. And what is the message? The message is that you cannot serve two masters. Those who say that they serve another master are fooling themselves. That's why then they put two people that were represented to the nation as being evil, as possible representatives of the people of the United States of America. They said they were both evil, Republican and Democrats. Well, the people of the world had no other alternative but to choose the lesser of the two. But what was the effect of the religious movements? What was the effect of those who got the higher power of God? What was your position on this matter? Well, I tell you, you can say what you want to say, but it was the same as everybody else. You said the lesser of the two. Some of you were Republicans, some of you were Democrats, the lesser of the two. Where was the voice of righteousness? Had no place. Had no place at all. I know for a fact. I was given the spirit to run for president at least 3 times. And all I talked about is what I've been talking to you ever since and presently today. And did I get any support? Not from one iota. They don't even want me to speak in church. But here I am, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here by a blessing. I'm here by a miracle to tell you that this is no game. You chose by accepting the order for which you have been involved. And you had nobody to tell you that there was a difference. And those who did speak to you of another master, they were the Dr. Kings and the Malcolm X and the John F. Kennedys. They were Abraham Lincoln, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. And I'm sure there have been some white people who gave their lives standing up for everybody else's life. I just don't know too many of them. But what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that's beside the point. What I am really here to tell you is this. No man can serve 2 masters. The world knows it. They've watched you. They've watched Donald Trump. They've watched you knowing that Donald Trump stood before the whole net-blacked world, told you lies, and then dared you. Under your own law, he dared you to respond. And all you do is talk about it. Those of you who are in the world, you just talk about it. All you think tanks, you get together and you talk about it. And you think that somebody ahead is going to come through and deliver you. You think the generals are going to deliver you. I want you to know that the generals have been programmed just like you. They are no different than you. They follow orders. They follow orders. Don't you forget that. And they don't follow your orders. They follow the orders of another. And your secret societies as well. But here's the question. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to serve this master? Well, the people in Russia, they submitted. Putin running that show. Back in the day, they submitted to Hitler. Hitler ran that show. Back in the day, they surrendered to Mussolini. He ran that show. In China, they've given all the rule to one. Hey, they're running that show. North Korea. Now it's America. You have given the test, been given the test. At the borders, those people that came to the border looking for help, where was that God in you that says, no way will you push them back? No way will you build a wall to keep them out? Where was that righteousness? Oh, you talked about it. You talked about it, trying to make yourself look better than others. But where was that righteousness? Where was it? Where is it now? They're going back to Mexico. Where is that righteous voice? And you say, you serving another master? You're trying to serve too. But I'm telling you who's getting the blessing, who's getting the power. Trump. Everything he said he's doing, he's throwing it in your face. And you can't do nothing but talk. Nothing but talk. And see, what they have learned is that now you have to face yourself. You have been challenged. You have been called to do something. Anytime somebody is bold enough to stand to you and tell you a lie, and then say he didn't lie and lie again, and then point you as being the evil one, and you just talk and talk, you're trying to serve two masters if you think that you're getting away with it. And now I'm going to close, ladies and gentlemen, by bringing this to your attention. There are a lot of good people in the world. They do a lot of good things. And the world loves it because it makes you think that you're serving God. But you're not. You're serving two masters, or at least you're trying to. But the only one who's getting the benefit is the evil one. Now, there are those of you who believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. You believe it with all your heart and all your soul and with all your mind. And whether it's true or not doesn't even matter. You believe it. There are those of you who believe that it was all conjured up. It's all something, metamorphically speaking. And you come up with some suggestion, some that you can accept. But in the end, you find yourself right in the middle of this hellhole. Just like the toilet when you flush it, you going down with the flow. And there's nothing to hold you up as far as you know. But let me give you this little truth, ladies and gentlemen, about this Jesus Christ. Whether Jesus Christ is real in life, or whether he's just a story made up to tell for whatever reason, I want you to see it like this. That is not important. Just like all of the messages about somebody saying this or somebody saying that from the beginning of time until this time. You either accepted or you didn't. Many of you still believe in Thor. Many of you still believe in the Trojan horse. Many of you still believe in the Red Sea crossing. Doesn't matter. You believe it. But what's more important is when you know something, when you can stop believing and start knowing. Now that is when you're born again. That is when it is all changed. You see the light. You see the workings of the new master. You see the workings of the new king. Now you got a king, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like sitting on a throne someplace else. He sits on the throne of your heart. And he makes you the captain of your own body, the captain of your own spirit. And that king is the commander-in-chief. And you listen to that voice, wherein you find your peace, wherein you find your prosperity, wherein you find your freedom, wherein you find your joy of life, wherein you find the fulfillment of your every dream. I'm telling you something, ladies and gentlemen. And in this world we're living in, a world where everything goes on, when you are born again, and that king is on the throne of your heart, and you are the captain of your own spirit, being under the authority of the commander-in-chief, listening to that voice through the spirit. And for those of you who just can't accept that Jesus lived, then check this out as a story. The story that you're just celebrating today. You've accepted that, most of you. So let's accept the story. And the message of it is this. You cannot serve two masters. Either you will love one and hate the other one, or flip-flop. But if you truly accept being born again, this world will change by your actions. And if it didn't, you would find yourself going to the cross, gladly giving up your life, because you know the truth. And there's no way you choose to live in hell. No way you choose to live in hell for no reason except to make it heavenly. And if you can't do that, you got no place here. This is what I learned, the message on this Christmas day. I've known it all the time, but I thought about today, what if righteousness prevailed? What if we stopped being good? What if we said nobody's going to be without a job? What if we said nobody's going to be without health care? What if we said everybody's going to have education unlimited and unrestricted? What if we said everybody was going to have food, clothing, shelter, and never be without it as long as we as human beings lived upon the face of the earth? What if we tried something like that? That's righteousness, ladies and gentlemen. And can't anybody condemn it except those who want to be God themselves. And if it's right, what if we tried what was right and stop playing these crazy games? I wanted to do something different. And God knows this sounds real good to me because I know it to be true. And it's because I know it to be true do I bring it to you today, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time to talk to you about what if righteousness prevails. Until next time, goodbye.